Welcome to the world where we teach you authentic English in an easy and fun way. This video is the fifth and last one in a series of videos regarding how to learn and use English tenses in the most effective and authentic way possible. If you missed the others, please go look them up. Many of our students have asked us to cover this topic to be able to review, learn, and use real English conditional sentences properly. Conditionals? Does that sound like something you'd use in a hair care routine? Not quite. You've probably heard your English teacher mention them, maybe even learnt a couple. If the sun shines, I'll go for a run. If you don't water the plants, they won't grow. But just when you think you've mastered them all, another one pops up, seemingly trickier than the last. In this video, we're going to explore more advanced, intriguing, and authentic ways to use conditional tenses, the kind that a native speaker uses, not just what's in your English textbooks. By the end of this video, not only will you recognize them, but you'll also feel confident using them in various situations. Before we start, however, we kindly ask you to click on the subscribe button so you never miss out on our valuable content and our channel can continue growing. Your support means the world to us. Thank you. So, if you're ready to dive in, let's roll. That's the first conditional, by the way. Conditionals, also known as if clauses, help us express dependency between two things. They can talk about something that always happens, might happen, or might have happened as a result of another state, action, or event. Now we know that sounds pretty complicated, but let's explore the four conditionals step by step and learn how to use them effectively. Conditionals are composed of a main clause and a conditional clause. The conditional clause is the part of the sentence that starts with if. The conditional clause is also called subordinate, and it's dependent on the main clause to be complete. The main clause is the outcome or the result. So the conditional is the if clause, which is the condition, comma, plus the main clause, which is the outcome. For example, if my plane gets delayed, condition, I won't make it on time for the meeting, outcome. When the conditional clause goes first in the sentence, it takes a comma. Otherwise, the comma is omitted. So you can start with the main clause, which is the outcome, and then the if clause with a condition. For example, I won't make it on time for the meeting if my plane gets delayed. Having said that, let's start with the different types of conditionals. And let's start easy. Let's start with zero conditional. The zero conditional talks about things that are certain or always true. It's a real condition with an inevitable result, much like scientific facts or general truths. The message here is that if something happens, there will always be a guaranteed consequence. The structure to convey this is if plus present simple in the conditional clause and the present simple in the main clause. For example, if you press the button, the light turns on. So present simple with if and present simple in the main clause. If you mix red and blue, you get purple. If you don't water the plant, it dies. The zero conditional is simple. Now let's talk about the first conditional. We use this to discuss future events likely to happen or with a real possibility of occurring. The structure of the first conditional is if plus present tense in the conditional clause, comma, and then will or won't plus the infinitive in the main clause or outcome. In this conditional, we talk about events in the future that are likely to occur. Here is an example. If it snows tomorrow, we'll build a snowman. If she studies hard, she'll ace the exam. Or you could also say, she'll ace the exam if she studies hard. And here is the last example. If you arrive early, we'll have time for a coffee. Okay, now let's move on to the second conditional. We're halfway with the conditionals. Now this one gets a little bit more challenging. Unlike the zero and the first conditionals, which describe real or possible situations, the second and third are hypothetical or imaginary. Now the structure is if plus past simple in the if clause, and then would or wouldn't plus the verb in the infinitive form in the main clause or outcome. As we said before, in the second conditional we use the past simple in the if clause and would in the main clause to talk about unlikely or imaginary situations. Here is an example. If I won the lottery, I would travel the world. Or you can say, I would travel the world, no comma, if I won the lottery. If I were a bird, I would fly everywhere. And one last example, if she were here, she would help us. And last but not least, we have the third conditional. We use this to talk about an imagined past and to speculate how things could have been different. The structure is if plus past perfect in the conditional clause and would or wouldn't plus have plus past participle in the main clause. So the third conditional is all about talking about the past and imagining different results or outcomes. Let me give you an example. If I had studied harder, I would have passed the exam. If we had left earlier, we wouldn't have missed the train. If she had called me, I would have helped her. And just when you thought it was over, we have one more surprise for you, the mixed conditional. It's all about blending two conditionals together to express a present result of a past conditional. You can use it to express the idea that if something had been different in the past, something would be different now in the present. Here is an example. If she had taken the job, she would be living in Paris now. That's a wrap on our guide to the main conditionals. If you're hungry for more grammar, check out our videos on English tenses. We hope you enjoyed this video and we hope you learned something useful. Keep the language adventure alive and stay tuned for more linguistic inspiration. If you like this video, please hit the like button and we hope to see you soon. Thanks for watching.